Yeah, a couple apologies for the not great lighting, but whatever. Okay, I want you to watch this video first, but after you watch it, I want you to come back and tell me about one of your mental health victories, because I'm going to tell you the story of one I had yesterday. Okay, so tell me about your victories, because I'm going to tell you mine. So, yesterday, I take two medications, and one would not be available until June 28th, which was Friday. And I had another one that was gonna be low, but I let it run 3 weeks longer than I usually do. I was literally down to two pills of that one prescription. I take dextroamphetamine for hyperactivity, and I take sertraline or Zoloft for anxiety and depression. Okay, so those are my two prescriptions, and the dextroamphetamine was nearly out. So I ordered that last Wednesday because in case it got caught up in the system, but it popped up the same day because sometimes it does that, and sometimes it on for 2 3 days. So you never know. And I waited until midnight Thursday into Friday to order the sertraline because I figured if I order it, then when they open up the pharmacy, that'll pop up that I need it filled, and they'll fill it, and it'll come up by the time it's about 9 o'clock. Okay? So, spoiler alert, it didn't happen that way, but here's where the spiral began. I woke up to the choo choo train horn noise of my iPad telling me I had an email, and I sat up thinking it was the email alerting me to the sertraline. But no, it was an email telling me that the dextroamphetamine was going to get canceled if I didn't. My sertraline had not been filled yet. Okay, so you can imagine I'm sitting up in bed. I've only been awake for about 2 minutes, and I'm going, oh crap, it's not going to come in today until like 4 o'clock, and then it'll be too late, and mom's going to be mad. And it's like, I tried to arrange it so that she would not have to go to the pharmacy twice in the span of 2 weeks. I wanted to get them both, okay? So I made my bed, and I kept my pajamas on because I was going to take a shower later, so I put on clothes just to take them off. So I stayed in my pajamas, but I got my bed all fixed up and everything, and the whole time I'm fixing up my bed, I'm like just beating myself up. I'm like, see, this is what you always do. You always screw things up, and no matter what you do, it's always going to come out wrong. And I'm just like, just the weight of these thoughts was literally pushing my head down and slouching my shoulders. I was walking like I was going to die. So anyway, I went out to the living room and down the steps to the family room, and I'm opening the blinds. Excuse me. I opened the blinds to the side window, and then I went to there was the little blinds on the side window, and then there's the huge set of blinds for the back windows that face out into the backyard. And I had my hand on the cord, and as I pulled it, I had another volley of like really intrusive bad thoughts, and I like froze, and I'm like, holy crap, Cindy, pause, time out, time out, time out. These are ants. You are having automatic negative thoughts. You are in an anxiety spiral. So I walked to the middle of the room, and instead of staring at the floor, I put my head back and looked up like this. And I imagined an angel and a devil on my shoulder. The angel was my therapist, Laura, and the devil was my dad. I was talking to myself the way my dad would have, and he was still over here barking in my ear, but I had Laura over here going, do your self-care. Okay, you're having a moment. You are in a spiral, but we can get out of this. Take some breaths. Ground yourself. So I did. Deep breath. 5 things I could see, 5 things I could hear, 5 things I could feel, 3 things that I could smell, and one thing that I could taste. And so, like, I tasted my morning breath. I remember that. But just, I grounded myself, and then I closed my eyes, and I'm like, okay, now what? And my dad was still, my dad devil over here was still barking, and Laura is like telling me quiet. So I went like this. I just literally I went like that on my shoulder. I flicked it like I was flicking a bug off of me. And I took another deep breath and I closed my eyes and I'm like, Godzilla, help me. And I was calling on my angry part because I wanted to picture him fighting these bugs like they were tanks that were shooting at him. And he just started stomping on them. I just imagined Godzilla stomping on these bad thoughts and blowing them away with his nuclear breath and sweeping them with his tail and just, grabbing them off the ground and throwing them, just rampaging to get rid of them. And I took another breath and then I was calm. My heart slowed down because my heart was racing and like the blood stopped surging through my ears and I just achieved not like perfect calm, but I was not like running in circles in my mind. I was so tired in that moment. I'd had a mental battle and I was so tired I had to sit on the floor for a sec and just think about what had just happened. And then I went and I got my meds, I got my dad's meds ready, and I got my eat dinner later, just so I wouldn't have to go out and get it in the afternoon. And I went back in my room and I turned on a YouTube video of celebrities surprising their fans just for something to look at besides hearing my own thoughts. And that made my mood come up. And I was still tired, but not like exhausted to the point that I was like dragging my feet trying to walk. So I got my dad taken care of, gave him all his meds, emptied his urinal, all that stuff. And I went and I got breakfast. And just as I finished breakfast, I got the email that my sertraline was ready. So all that, just for it to be okay, that is what anxiety does. That is what trauma does. That is what depression can do. It just sends you spinning and you get lost in it. But this time I found my way out. And I know it sounds so ridiculous to anybody who is not privy to everything that's going on with me in my story, but I want someone out there to know that you don't have to sit and spiral. You do your self-care. It does work, but you have to work on it. You have to make it a habit. It's not just going to happen. You've got to catch yourself in those spirals. And sometimes you don't even realize that you're kind of self-abusing until maybe when you're done doing it and the yelling inside of your mind has gone quiet and you go, wait a minute, did I need to be that mean? And that's okay. If you notice it after, just starting to take notice of it, that you're doing it, is a step. And then you just start interrupting it. And then you might notice it starting to begin, and then you kick in and interrupt it again. And eventually that part of your mind is supposed to get a little bit quieter, and you're just better able to shut it down. Because I don't think it ever stops. I mean, I'm just at the beginning of my journey. But there are people that haven't started yet, and I hope maybe this convinces you to start. Take a step. And if you can't walk, crawl, or push your wheelchair, whichever way, push your joystick, push on your wheels. And if you can't go forward, just move somewhere. Move a direction, anywhere. But don't stay in one place and let your mind hurt you. Just don't. So anyway, like I said at the beginning of this video, this was my victory, but I want to hear yours. So share yours in the comments, okay? Because I love you, and I want to share your victories too. So I want to celebrate with you. So, love you.